Okay. Okay, to define an ellipse, if we base it from the perspective of a conic section, so when we try to insert a plane, just try to imagine the red plane that you see now on the screen. When the plane is not parallel or perpendicular to the cone's base, its intersection will actually show you an ellipse. And in addition, okay, what makes ellipse special or different from parabola and circle? If you notice our locus point, okay, the locus point that moves in a plane so that the sum of its distance from two fixed points is constant. And then its eccentricity is less than 1. So I would like to explain first the 2 points that you see, the fixed points that you see in the blue line and the red line. So di ba merong point dito na hindi nagmo-move? Those are our fixed points and we call them as your focus. So just like before in parabola, focus is defined as a fixed point. But in ellipse, there are 2 of them. So since we're talking about 2 focus, naging plural na siya, tatawagin na natin siyang foci. So F-O-C-I. So may dalawang points tayo na basis dito. So if you notice, there's a lot of points around the ellipse. And when we try to find the distance or add the distance from our first foci, which is color blue, and then the second foci or focus is the red one, if you add them up, it will always become 10, no matter what point you will consider in an ellipse. So that's what makes it special compared to circle and parabola. Yung eccentricity natin is only between 0 and 1 because if yung eccentricity natin is malapit sa 0, that means your ellipse is almost a circle already. So the more it moves closer to 0, ibig sabihin, malapit na siya magiging circle. Then the more that it's nearer to 1, okay, the more that it's elongated. Pag sinabi natin elongated, parang naka-stretch na ellipse. So the more that it becomes narrow. So yun yung purpose ng eccentricity natin. Okay. Now, can I ask you to screenshot this? It's very important, but I know that you have encountered this in Canvas already. But I will be discussing the properties, okay? But only in a short period of time. Because as I said, we only have limited time and we still have to discuss a lot of, we will still discuss examples. So now, please take note that this is not vertex. This is center. So standard forms of ellipse with center 0, 0. So please correct that one. That's not a vertex, but a center. So if our ellipse has a center of 0, 0, or in other words, at the origin, okay, so there will be 2 things that you will notice. Yung kulay green at yung kulay blue. Yung kulay blue natin is obviously longer than the blue line. The green one, which is longer, will always be called as our major axis. Yung major axis natin, may endpoints yon. Yung mga endpoints niya, we call them as your vertex. Okay? But since dalawa sila, vertices, plural. Okay? So meron tayong dalawang vertex. Those are the endpoints of our major axis, but the length is 2a. So I hope you were able to hear that from your Canvas course. Na yung length ng ating major is 2a. So ano yung meaning ng a lang? Kung a lang, ibig sabihin half ng major axis natin. Okay. And then, yung endpoints naman ng ating minor axis, yung mas maikli. Ha? Yung mas maikli that will connecting 2 points that passes through the center, yun naman ang ating co-vertices. Endpoints ng ating minor axis. So it's not denoted as W. Okay, now, yung length ng ating minor axis is denoted as 2B. Okay. So ano yung meaning ng isang bilang? Meaning, kalahati ng ating minor axis in terms of its length. And then, yung foci naman, those are the 2 points which are fixed. Okay? And then, the distance from the center going to the focus, to one of the focus, that would be denoted as C, yung length niya. So that's the meaning of A. A is half of the major axis, B is half of the co-vertex, and yung C naman natin is distance from the center going to one of the foci or one focus. Okay, so when is the time that you will know that an ellipse is horizontal? So when the major axis is parallel to the x-axis. And kung yung major axis naman natin parallel to our y-axis, that would be a vertical ellipse. Okay. Now ito naman yung mangyayari if in case yung ellipse natin, yung center is not anymore in the origin, but somewhere else. So for example, yung horizontal ellipse natin, yung red point, yan yung center, nasa quadrant 1 siya. Yung example naman natin dito sa vertical ellipse na to, nasa quadrant 4. That can be anywhere. Okay? As long as the center will be denoted as H and K. Okay? Okay, ito naman yung summary ng ating formulas to figure out our properties. Okay, so nasabi ko na sa inyo yung lahat na yan, yung mga meaning. Yung relation natin, you might be asking why is it that it turns out that it's a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. Because, can you take note of it? Yung equation of ellipse kasi natin is derived from Pythagorean theorem. So, kaya familiar yung a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared kasi yan yung Pythagorean theorem na na-encounter nyo either grade 8 or grade 9. Okay. What if the center is not anymore at the origin? So, it will be denoted as H and K. So, here you go. Screenshot. I will be showing you several examples to answer specific questions. Okay, so let's start. In our problem 1 here, we are asked to write an equation for the ellipse that satisfies each set of conditions. So first of all, both questions or conditions here, they're all asking about the equation of the ellipse. So in general, when we are asked to find the equation of the ellipse, here's what you will need to remember. Unang-una sa lahat, dapat merong center. Kung hindi naman siya 0, 0, H and K yon. And then, kailangan mo ng A, yung length ng half of the major axis, and yung B na half of the length of the minor axis. Okay, so let's begin with A. In A, we're given with the endpoints of the major axis. And then yung endpoints ng ating minor axis. So, in general, if we're dealing with ellipse, for example, meron tayong ellipse dito. Of course, yung mataas na length na magpapass through the center, we call that one as major. So take note that we have endpoints here. Diba? Meron tayong endpoints. And lagi nating tatandaan yung center natin. Yung center natin sa major axis is always the midpoint. So, ibig sabihin, mahahanap natin yung center by using the midpoint formula. So, balik tayo sa lesson 1.1 natin. Yung midpoint formula natin, kailangan natin ng dalawang endpoints. And then, yung x-coordinate is just x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2. And then, yung y-coordinate naman natin ng midpoint is y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. Okay. So now, take note that the center is the midpoint itself. So, ibig sabihin, when we try to figure out the answer of this one, we will be able to figure out the h and k already. So, where do we get the 2 points that we need? So, we were given already with the endpoints of the major axis. And these are -11, 5, and 7 and 5. So, yung una, perhaps it could be x sub 1 or y sub 1. And then, ito x sub 2, y sub 2. So, substitute lang tayo. X sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2. And then, this is h. And then, ito yung k natin. Y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So, -11 plus 7 is -4. 5 plus 5 is 10 over 2. So, -4 divided by 2 is -2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, meron na tayong center. Yung unang checklist natin. Next thing that you need to figure out is your major axis. So, the next thing that you need to figure out is what is A. That's what I mean. But A has something to do with your major axis. So, you need to recall kung ano yung major axis natin. Kung ano yung mga information that were laid down to us. So, the length of major axis, you can actually get it by multiplying A with 2. And then, remember, kung i-recall natin, when we say length, you can also say it as distance. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung 2A na ito, originally, it really talks about distance. So, at the back of your mind, you have to think about distance. So, ano ba yung distance formula natin from lesson 1.1? So, that would be x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. So you might be asking, why is it that we are using the distance formula once again? Because the problem in A, hindi binigay yung length, but instead binigay sa atin yung endpoints. So all we need to do, instead of using 2A sa formula to get the length of the major axis, we will go back to the usual way by using the 2 endpoints here. And then finally, we can be able to figure out what's the length of the major axis. So going back, binigay naman sa atin kung ano yung endpoints, di ba? Negative 11 and 5, 7 and 5. So yung gagawin natin, magsasubstitute lang tayo. X sub 2, dito tayo titingin. 7 minus negative 11, quantity squared, plus 5 minus 5, quantity squared. And then yung D natin dito, is pareho lang siya as 2A. So instead of writing D, why not write 2A? Because in the first place, what we're looking for is really the A. So there you go. So you just have to simplify that. So 7 minus negative 11 is actually 18 squared. 5 minus 5 is 0. Then 0 squared is just 0. Added to 18 squared is just 18 squared. And from your lesson in grade 9, if you have a perfect square or a number being raised to a 2 and then you have to get its square root, it will just result to the 18. And then divide both sides by by 2, I mean. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Okay, so there you go. Meron na tayong A, which is 9. So anong meaning ng 9? Again, yung A natin is just half of the length of the major axis. So kung titingnan natin talaga yung total length ng ating major axis, it's really an 18. But since we're just, we just want the A alone, just half of it, that's a 9. Okay, so meron na tayong A. Yung susunod is yung B naman. So similar concept in we're given information about minor axis that involves B. So that's what we need to recall. So length of minor axis is actually denoted as 2B for you to figure out its total length. But then again, you're only given with the endpoints of the minor axis, which is negative 2 and 9, and then negative 2 and 1. So same process, you will be doing the same thing, but instead of 2A, it becomes 2B. So this might be your x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. But again, it doesn't matter which point will you assign with the x sub 2 or what, or y sub 2, as long as you will be using the distance formula correctly. So ayun, the D is 2B instead of the D, and then x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. So yung negative 2 minus negative 2 natin, wala na tayong oras para bumalik sa rules in adding and subtracting integers sa grade 7. Because that's my current lesson. So just use your calculator to make things easier for you if you don't remember the rules. But once you will input it in the calculator, it will result to 0. Kung nagmamanual naman kayo, kung naaalala nyo yung rule, negative 2 minus negative 2 is just the same as negative 2 plus 2. Kaya naging 0. And then yung 1 minus 9 natin is negative 8. So similar with our first case in the major axis, 0 squared is just 0. And then adding it to something else, it's okay not to write it anymore. So, yung negative 8 quantity squared naman natin, it's okay to write it only as 8 squared. So, bakit siya naging 8 squared? So, take note, yung meaning ng exponential form na ganito, meaning you're multiplying a negative 8 twice by itself. Take note, negative times negative is just positive. So, para lang ding 8 times 8. So we'll put 8 squared instead. Okay? So ayun, same here. The square root of 8 squared will just be 8. And then the 8 is actually the length of the minor axis, but what we are into or up to is just the b. So you need to divide both sides with 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So there you go. Meron na tayong h, meron na tayong k, meron na tayong a, meron na tayong b. So we can already identify what is the equation of this ellipse. So teka lang, yung space natin medyo limited na. I hope you can still see it clearly, okay? But the formula that we will be used, since the center is not at the origin, so yung gagamitin natin is x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared all over b squared is equal 1. Kung saan yung h natin is negative 2. Ito ha, baka nakalimutan nyo. So x minus negative 2 quantity squared all over a squared plus y minus, yung k natin is 5, tsaka yung b natin is 4 squared. So just simplify this. X minus negative 2 is just the same as x plus 2 quantity squared all over 9 squared is 81. Then, wala na tayong magagawa dito. 4 squared is 16. So ito yung tamang sagot. Any question or clarification that you'd want to raise before we proceed to B? Okay. If wala, let's proceed to B. Again, don't raise your hand ha. Turn on your mic and then you speak. Yung B naman natin, hindi siya masyadong mahirap kasi hindi na endpoints yung binigay sa atin. Madali lang. Meron na tayong length ng major axis. Yung length ng ating major axis is already 20 units long. And then yung length naman ng ating minor axis is already given as well, which is 6 units long. And then yung center naman natin, binigay na din sa atin, which is 4 and 2. Okay. So yung susunod na needed mo that you need to decide is whether it's vertical or horizontal. So take note, it says that the major axis is parallel to the y-axis. So just imagine, meron kayong coordinate plane, and then yung major axis, take note, it has to be parallel to the y-axis. So ibig sabihin, vertical ellipse yung hinahanap natin. So there you go. You just have to find what is A and B, and we can already identify the equation of the ellipse. So first, yung length ng ating major axis is again, you can get it by having 2A. And since we know the length, which is 20, so 2A is equal to 20. Then divide both sides by 2, you'll get 10. So this is our A. And then next is to find what is B. Minor axis is 2B, but you know that the minor axis length is 6. So divide both sides by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, then there you go. Meron na tayong H, K, A, and B. And since this is a vertical ellipse, so ibig sabihin niyan, yung equation ng ating vertical ellipse is ito. The square of y minus k all over a squared plus the square of x minus h all over b squared is equal to 1. Yung k natin is ito. So, 2. Yung a natin is 10. Yung h natin is 4. Yung b naman natin is 3. So, simplify. 10 squared is 100. And then 3 squared is 9. So this is our final answer.